They're both fantastic as Peachy and Pumpkin. And now, Pappu can't dance. For a long time after Munna Bhai MBBS, for which I did the dialogue, people kept saying Mamu, Mamu every time I walked into a room or they met me, and I really thought it was time to replace Mamu with something else, and I think Pappu helped me crack that. The origin of this song, we actually had another song recorded over here, a piece called Tali Baja, and I rather liked that one also, but it never quite fell into place. And it reached the point where, after trying a lot of grooves and a lot of arrangements, Rahman and I reached the conclusion that it might actually be simpler to just do another song rather than, keep working on that. And so we sat one night and said, all right, let's find a catchphrase, a kind of song that can really catch on in parties and on the dance floor. And we're like, all right, it's a song about dancing, so what can we say about dancing? And Rahman said, there's nothing more boring than saying that somebody can dance. So why don't we make a song about somebody who can't dance? So the can't dance came from A.R. Rahman, and I added the Pappu, which caught on nicely. And I added the Sala, which at some level is a bit of a trademark. Now this is interesting. That's Padam dancing really badly. And so people kind of presume that he's Pappu, and a lot of people have asked who actually Pappu is and what's the whole idea behind the song, and there was this whole stupid rumor about Pappu being Salman Khan. Pappu was actually, the reason I wrote the song is because I remembered a lot of guys in college who were rich, good looking, had cars in college while we were coming in buses, and were really comfortable with girls while we were pretty awkward coming from the slightly less liberal backgrounds that we came from. And they seemed to have everything going for them except for the fact that you could tell that they were not very nice people. In fact, I can't use the A word here. Actually, we had used the A word a couple of times in the film before Amar made me remove them. So Pappu was about that guy who has everything going for him, but yet there's something that makes him not quite perfect. Maybe he's not kind enough. Maybe he's not respectful enough. Maybe he talks about women in a casual way after being intimate with them. And Pappu was about that, which is why I didn't want it to be about a specific guy, which is why we did the scene where Vivek shows that he can actually dance quite well, and he was just being sporting by doing those earlier things. It was not about him. Vivek is not Pappu. And so they go on to find a new Pappu, and there's Shakun again. And this was great fun. The whole idea of doffing my hat to Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak, getting that look of Amir's in Papa Kehte Hai. And Amir didn't know we were doing this. Luckily, we had Mansoor Bhai, who had, of course, conceived that song years ago and directed it. And so we had his permission and form signed in triplicate and a non-suing clause where they couldn't take me to court for making fun of Amir. And the first time Amir saw it, he was watching it so intently and just judging the film and making sure that it was all right, that he actually didn't catch the whole Papa Kehte Hai bit. He really didn't make the association that this was him. And I think it's only when Kiran laughed that he first realized that something happened there which he missed, and kind of said, what was that? And then saw everyone smirking guiltily. And then he got the joke, and luckily took it very sportingly and found it quite funny. A number of people have wondered why Charlene was dancing with a girl, and that's because Charlene was actually supposed to be gay in the film. We actually even had a couple of scenes that referred to it. If you notice the fact she's always wearing these boots, I will draw your attention to those later. So little touches, the fact that while everyone is obsessed with finding a girlfriend or a boyfriend, Charlene seems to be one person who really seems to be above those hormonal surges that everyone else is going through. And I always saw her as somebody who kind of became